You ever miss something so bad you pay $500 just to have a guy in a parka yell at you through a tambourine? That's that's Oasis right now. That's Britain's version of therapy. The show opened with a literal montage of all the drama between Liam and Noel. Yeah, like it's a reality TV show, previously on Two Angry Manx. Anyway, so they barely spoke to each other. There were no new songs. It was just vibes, tambourines, and the good old hits from 1995. People paid half their rent to sing cigarettes and alcohol. In 2025, the year of Ozempic, oat milk, and climate anxiety. It's beautiful. It's sad. It's British. Some fans paid £350 plus for standing tickets. Standing. That's not a concert. That's like a cardio. I'm never paying that much. Ticketmaster messed up so bad that the UK Parliament got involved. They literally turned around and went, Oi, what's up with these 35-pound bucket hats? Yeah, they had 35-pound bucket hats as merchandise being sold out there, and people bought it. In case you don't know what a 35-pound bucket hat looks like, it's depression with a logo on it. And my favorite quote from the crowd was someone said, it's generational, it's emotional, it's special. Bro, it's karaoke with trauma. You're watching two uncles perform songs about teenage rebellion while planning separate exits quietly. It's all right, look, jokes aside, I'm a fan of Oasis as well, and I get it. Oasis is one of the last bands that made men feel loudly without needing therapy. They're from a time before vulnerabilities had subtitles. Back then, your choices were you sing Don't Look Back in Anger or you punched a dry wall. It was the same kind of emotional release. And also, they were like the last cool working class guys, before TikTok made everyone a soft boy DJ. Oasis isn't just music. It's a memory of when things were felt big, even if your life was small. It's British nostalgia at its loudest and most shouty. So no, they haven't written any new songs, and maybe they don't need to. Liam and Noel don't have to heal. They just have to show up, hate each other publicly, and let 60,000 fans just scream their youth into the night. Honestly, that's art. That's family. That's Oasis. All right, let's jump into what I really want to talk about in this episode. So I'm doing some research, right? And by that I mean I was browsing the internet, and I came across this article about how to improve your endurance, and it caught my eye. I'm trying to, as always, trying to get back into physical fitness, and it's been, if you've been listening to my podcast, it's been going on for about 200 years or so. Anyway, it caught my eye. I go into it, and the whole thing I can sum up by saying is basically, if you scream at yourself like a madman, you might get fitter. It's about self-talk, all right? And I've always been skeptical about it because it just seems like it's a stupid thing to do. And just talking to yourself, and it just makes me think of these gym bros who are like really like hyper about it, and kind of puts me off, if I'm honest. And logically, my brain, or at least I assume my brain, I thought this doesn't sound right. Like, why would I need to do that to myself? Anyway, so these bunch of scientists, researchers, they from the University of Bangor. That's an actual name. I don't know where it is. I should look it up. But University of Bangor, right? They get these guys, 16 of them, to get them on the stationary bikes and they monitor them, right? So the first thing they do is they kind of go, all right, let's record what you tend to say to yourself. And people are saying different things like my thighs are burning, or I can do this, stuff like that. And so they record that. Then they polish that stuff up, and they realized there was a slight difference in performance between two groups. The type who say, I can do this, and the other type who say, you can do this, right? So first person versus second person. And they look into the research of this, and they found out that one group was performing 2.4% better than the other group. And it was the one that was saying, bum, 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 bum. That was my drum roll. Weird drum roll. It was a group that was using the second person phrasing. All right. So apparently your brain gets tricked into self-distancing when you use second person. And so when it's like you're not looking at your own pain, you're looking at someone else's pain. It's almost like having a coach, right? It is a coach in that sense in your head. Your brain is tricked into believing it's the second person motivating you. All right. I'm going to pause there because I feel like our brain is kind of crazy. I read all these articles about how the brain is fooled by this and that. And I always think, how stupid is it? It's not someone else fooling me. It's myself fooling myself. You know, back in the day when I was worried about getting to places late, I moved my car time by 5 minutes ahead, and I kept falling for it every single day of my life. It's nuts. All right. So now here I am. It's I'm reading this and this is what's going on. So your brain is getting tricked into it. You improve by a lot. The only difference is there were 3 out of the 16 who didn't have much of a difference between the two styles. And they said partly it could be they're narcissistic enough, or so I sounds better to them. I don't know what the facts are around that. But it just meant that these people, and in the sports world, you know, this was an improvement of 23 seconds for these guys, which in the sports world, that's massive. That's the difference between landing in first place versus last, almost in these kind of races. They're so close. So basically, if you're trying to run longer, hold your kid up better, or whatever it is that you're trying to do, switching to a second person thing helps you apparently. And by that, and now when I look back at it, I kind of go, hey, you know, I'm fluent in self-negative talk, so why would I not do this instead, right? And I think the problem is when I, maybe it's my guess, but when you start talking about as the first person, for people who are not confident, it's a bit too close to home in that sense. And so the second person is again someone else telling you, and it's nice to have that kind of positive message coming from someone else. And I wonder if this applies to other areas apart from sports, and particularly endurance. I don't know about any research around it, but would it, in the past, I've heard people like Beyonce, and I'm sure most artists have some kind of thing they use. I'm not going to lie. I've seen artists do it in front of me, and I thought it was crazy. Turns out they were right. And so I went from going haha at them to aha, right? I don't know how it applies. I wonder if it applies to normal work, to presenting, to any other kind of thing you're trying to achieve. But it was very interesting for me to know that difference. I haven't put it into practice because I'm not someone who consciously talks to myself. But next time I get on the stationary bikes, I'm definitely going to do it, and I'll tell you in the following episodes or something about how it went for me. But that was kind of cool, and I think you should try it too. Like have a go at it. If you are, you know, doing anything at the gym, have a go. Make sure you switch from saying I gotta do this to you can do this. It's those little tweaks that apparently help us do better. And if someone catches you talking to yourself while you're on the treadmill, then just say it's science, bro, and then make a dash for the door, because I don't want to really have to explain to them. I'll tell them to listen to this episode instead. That's it, man. I had to make fun of Oasis. I had to talk about this newfound encouragement. So what I'd like you guys to do is, regardless of where you're watching or listening to this podcast, I'd like you to make sure you subscribe to the channel. And by you, I mean you, not me. I'm not motivating myself to subscribe to this. I actually mean you. All right. Thank you for listening and watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Take care.